Hey, Marvin Wallace here, coming to you from my new home here in sunny Las Vegas, Nevada. I just wanted to cut a video this evening and kind of talk about the last week's festivities, or the weekend festivities, the holiday weekend, and the reason for the celebration. Obviously, most people's opinion would be we celebrate the 4th of July because we're, kind of celebrating our independence and our freedoms. So I kind of decided I came home and just looked the word freedom up in the dictionary, and I kind of wrote it down. And I want to kind of discuss it with you a little bit today and see what different opinions are, because I think some of the freedoms that we were promised, a lot of people say we're losing certain freedoms for this one reason or another. But I think there's, and that may be true, things have changed where certain freedoms have to, we have to kind of deal with it based on the times we're in. And we'll talk about that a little bit. But the definition out of Webster's Dictionary of freedom is the quality or state of being free as the absence of necessity, coercion, or constraint in the choice or action. Liberation from slavery or restraint from the power of another human being. Independence is considered freedom. The quality of being frank, open, or outspoken. Unrestricted use, and they even got it down here at the bottom. This is a political right for us to be free in America. So for every reason in the world, we could be free, and a lot of people challenges that. They have their own conspiracies, theories, or what have you. But I think we live in one of the best, most free countries in the world. But some of the freedoms that we're actually allowed, we don't even take advantage of it, or we don't actually do anything to make sure we are getting those freedoms. Now I did some further research. Franklin Roosevelt once says, true individual freedom cannot exist without economic security. As inequality destroys our economic security and the prison population grows and the religion continues to impact public policy, our privacy is invaded, our precious freedoms become more and more a failed American dream. In 1941, in the message to Congress, Roosevelt also tried to explain what it means to be free. He outlined 4 essential human freedoms. And the first freedom is the freedom of speech and expression. A lot of people say today that's being taken from us, and I beg to differ there. I think it's necessary to have surveillance, living in the times we're living in with the different terrorist threats. And obviously we got a lot of countries that don't take a liking to us. So I mean, obviously we gotta have some safeguards in place. So I don't have a problem with that first freedom that we were promised. I think we still get that pretty. We get that without any interruption. The second one is the freedom for every person to worship. Worship wherever you want to worship whatever your religion is. We don't hold that against you here in America. So again, that's another one of those things that I don't really have a problem with. But I did run across one that I have a problem with. Is the third freedom, and that's the freedom from what? The freedom from wanting, right? And that kind of struck a chord. I'm thinking, man, poverty is continuously getting worse. I was reading, I think it was World News or something like that, and I took a snippet out of here, and it says for every 3 people in poverty in the year 2000, there are now 4. Almost 50 million people were impoverished in 2011, and over 20% of our children live in poverty today. Thomas Jefferson said, we as humans are created equal and endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, and among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm always in a position where I don't have enough to take care of the things that I need to take care of in my life, and if every time one of my kids come to me and say they need something and I can't do it, I don't feel that I'm free. I don't feel that that's freedom at all. I don't feel that if you've got to get up and be at someone else's beckoning call for 40 years of your life or longer, then you're not free. You're not living what's promised to us as Americans, and that is that we can be free. There was one more one more freedom, and that's the freedom from want. And I think the freedom from want ties in with the freedom. I'm sorry, not the freedom of want, the freedom of fear. It was the fourth freedom, the freedom of fear, and the freedom of fear ties in with the freedom of want. And a lot of times, the reason you have so many wants is because of your fear to go out and make some changes and get those things. It's impacted America in a huge way, and so it's a huge problem. Of course, we try to recover from this recession we just came through. And a couple years ago, I was reading a book by Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki, and they used the fall of the great Roman Empire to kind of illustrate things that happen in America today. And they used a triangle as the shape of America, as being the shape of America. How America stays strong and stays in the position of being a superpower, and it has to do with obviously finances. On this scale, you've got three classes of people. You got your wealthy 1 to 3% of people here. These are the wealthy people that don't really have to worry about money or anything that has to do with financial, because they've got it and they'll have it and be able to pass it on to their kids and be able to pass it on from generation to generation. So these people are in pretty good shape. And then you have the middle class. Now this is the class that they talked about a lot. And this is the class that keeps America strong. It kept the Roman Empire strong during the time that they were in power. But as soon as this middle class started to lose, it started to shrink, then they collapsed. And they said, in America, it's going the same way. And obviously, down here, you got the poor or impoverished in America here. So, but the thing that kept America strong was the middle class, all right? Kept America strong, and when they stopped spending, when things got tight, of course, it put our economy in the situation it was in. I do want to point one thing out. Even though this 1 to 3% up here, the 1 to 3%ers there, have more income collectively than all the middle class and poor combined, okay? But the economy gets going because of these people, because these people were still spending during the times that we were in a recession. They were still spending, but it wasn't enough of the people in the middle class spending, so it caused that effect. They said that the way things were going is we would actually go through some changes, and we would, instead of looking like the triangle, we would start to look like this. And what that illustrates is the wealthy becoming more wealthy, wealthier, the middle class shrinking in size, not spending the money in the economy to keep the economy going, and obviously the poor and impoverished, that area is growing also. So you got growth in this area, you got growth in this area, but this area is shrinking, and this is the area that keeps America strong and on its feet. So what we can do is first of all do our parts. President Kennedy says, "Ask not what America can do for you, but what you can do for America." My passion in life is to actually mentor young kids coming out of school, maybe who didn't have parents to maybe give them some guidance. So that's a passion for me, and I'm able to do that today because I've got time freedom. Because a while back I decided to take my life in my own hands and direct my own future. And it required me to do some things that I wasn't even sure how to even get started. But I picked up a couple books, and started reading different information. Started kind of surfing the internet to try to find somebody who had what I was wanting, find out how I can get to this person, to find out what that person was doing so I can emulate it and get the same things, whatever that may have been, or whatever that need was that I wanted to solve. So my purpose today is to kind of, in order to prevent us from going into the situation where we're constantly, thinking there's a lack of money with all this abundance out here. Just kind of, I think I want to challenge you to think a little bit outside the box, and don't always believe that everything you were taught was the right way to do it, because one of the main things, I don't know many people that hadn't been told this, but all through school you heard, all through your younger years, is to get a good education while you're in school so you can grow up and get yourself a good job. And here in the 21st century, a good education doesn't guarantee you a good job. We know that. Corporate America has changed. Companies have downsized, and they've not outsourced, and jobs are leaving and things like that. So today, you got to kind of get the old way of thinking out your mind and think the new economy. What's really taking off? How are people are actually surviving? Why is it that some people in a bad economy do well and some people in a bad economy do worse? You need to find out what the people who are doing well are doing and kind of follow them and do what they're doing if you want some changes in your life. I personally did. I made some changes in my life, and it was the best thing I could have done. So I just want to share that with you. If there's something you got to do or you need to do to change your family's future, find somebody who's doing whatever it is you enjoy doing and follow that person. One way or the other, grab yourself a book. You can be mentored through books. You can be mentored until you find that actual physical person is going to take you under his wings and help you get to where you need. Try a book. Try a bookstore. The average person won't read a book after high school, won't read a full book in a year's time after high school. How many years, ask yourself, how many years have I been to school, and how many years have I been out of school, and how many books have I read ever since? That could be our answers right there. Listen, folks, feel free to remark below here and give me your opinion. What do you think we could do to make sure we don't lose our freedom, or we're just not giving our freedoms away that we were promised? Make sure you leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think. Look forward to carrying on this conversation. I look forward to talking to you and speaking to you, and maybe sharing some more information with you on my next video. Listen, thanks for chiming in. Look forward to talking to you again. Peace. Bye-bye.